the present simple versus the present continuous, it might be something quite different. But in the sense that Scouts or Boy Scouts are prepared, always ready, to make a very fine distinction, you need to be always ready. And meditation is a good way of being always ready.
Strikes me you need to be a very, very experienced teacher to be able to do this, you know.
I suspect that is true, yes. I suspect that really is true.
Several aspects of my teaching where I could walk in and teach regardless of age or experience or anything else. And I can also think of several different things where I would need to be brushing up exactly what I was doing before I did it. I'm thinking particularly of the science and some sort of historical facts and data and stuff. I would need to.
I suppose to be a bit to be a bit, I don't know, arty thingy about it. You could say that Dogme is an attitude of mind and having priorities in mind, because to recommend teaching this way with a difficult class of teenagers, I mean, I would think the fact that they are teenagers and difficult would be much more important than other considerations. Absolutely. Though I can imagine the people who are successful teaching difficult teenagers are probably doing a sort of Dogme approach, even if they don't call it that, because they put the kid first.
To a certain extent, but I think it's definitely in the UK, you see, we're teaching to a syllabus, we're teaching to an exam curriculum, and there's no getting away from that. Getting the children, getting the pupils or students through the exam is the ultimate goal, regardless of whether they're fluent in whatever. Getting them through the exam is what seems to be the important thing here, which is sad, but true.
Yeah, but this is not only true of England, of course. It's incredibly true of Germany, and I often quote my stepson, who is now 39 or 40 or some incredible age like that, and a sort of freelance musician. Our troubadour, I call him. He once said to me when he was 15 or 16 and I was helping him with English, "The trouble is, Dennis, you are helping me with English, but I need to learn school English." And that is unfortunately true. There is a colossal difference. Of course, if you care about your learners, of course you'll prepare them for their exams.
Yes.
You know, you would be a lousy teacher if you didn't. But I think that what dogmeists are on about is, whether they put it this way or not, they are concerned with how under ideal circumstances you learn a language, and they are trying to make it possible for people to teach the way you would teach ideally, even if you have to make a lot of compromises because of the real life, hard life situation around you.
Right, I'm going to ask one question, which you probably want to cut. I'm sure most people would want to cut it. How much are Dogme teachers just running away from learning how to use technology effectively and efficiently and give the pupils all these wonderful Web 2.0 opportunities? How much is it down to the teacher's own fear or dislike? And how much of it is down to the ideal of Dogme?
It's a jolly good question. I don't want to run away from it at all. In a way, it's easier for me to answer than it might be for many people, because I mean, technology frustrates the hell out of me, especially Second Life and voice and recording and all that sort of thing. But I find that I really, I don't know, what can I say? I really believe in it. I really want to master it and not let it master me. So I think I can say that I suspect that a Dogme type person, and these are all terrible generalizations, and I'm always being told one should not generalize, but it does enable one to say something as opposed to nothing. I think that many people who feel sympathetic towards Dogme are very creatively, artistically inclined, and almost by that definition they are against, scared of, suspicious of technology. for some reason, I don't share this fear and suspicion of technology. It's very widespread in Germany, this fear and suspicion. I fight, as it were, for technology and Second Life every day of my life, every time I talk to people, because it's there. People don't trust it. You know, they always want to tell you stories of somebody who's had their bank, what do you call it? I can only think of the German bank account cleared money. I mean, this has happened to me actually, but it still hasn't scared me. I just think I must learn to make sure that it doesn't happen.
Yes, absolutely.
But I think it probably is fear and suspicion. It's a little bit against their, almost by definition, the kind of people they are. But there are others, of course, who see it as a colossal opportunity.
Absolutely.
And
the fact that most of the teams...
you need to go on fighting,
today,
I'm sure.
I mean, if you think of all the kids under 20 now, they were born in 1980 and after. Sorry, 1990 and after. So they will have all been brought up with almost permanent connection, broadband in the house, mobile telephones. I mean, to them it'll be second nature. Most of them. I mean, we're now running out of people to educate that weren't brought up with computers. So it's part of their life, and to suddenly say no, it's part of your life, but no, it's not part of language teaching, despite the fact that you can go and talk to people in any language anywhere and listen to all these wonderful
that is
podcasts.
Remarkable.
To me, just seems so far removed.
Mind you, I haven't read reports, but I've read accounts of reports that suggest that although young people use technology a lot, they don't use it, in fact, they don't use as much of it, or as they don't use such a widespread of it as people say in their 50s. You know, they tend to stick to Facebook, for example, and they don't do email anymore and so on.
Yes, I've read similar reports, but still the opportunities to talk to native speakers in whatever language they're learning, and listen to podcasts and listen to news broadcasts and read magazines so quickly and easily and freely, which of course is important to the student learner.
Yes.
I think they should be encouraged to make use of those things, even if they don't do them automatically, because they have the facilities quite often to do it. Not all around the world, but a huge number of learners do have the capacity to be able to take on electronic forms of learning.
I think when we start thinking of countries, especially that are excluded from the technological world, of course this is something to bear in mind. And I began teaching in West Africa many years ago, and I've been recently to South Africa, so I actually think of Africa quite often, and I think that's the hardest continent. Those are the hardest countries to see how could one deal with, how could one get broadband to them. If you think of other parts of the world, ironically almost, one of the countries that in many ways is leading electronically is India. We've both got a very good friend, Kai Lun, who is around us all the time, and he's a senior lecturer in the University of Calcutta. And I mean, at the moment he's trying to convince me to get away from my German server, which he saw recently and thought it looks incredibly old-fashioned, and to buy my services from somewhere in Calcutta. I mean, it's quite amusing, but I think it could also, it points to me to the fact that an awful lot that is interesting is going on, technologically I mean, is going on in India and not just in Europe.
No, it's true. Oops. And I think that's where the big handheld markets, India and China and Japan, the big handheld markets are, they're just huge.
And you can meet people from all of those countries in Second Life.
Absolutely.
Mr. Linden, are you listening? Okay, I think we better stop meditating.
All right.
As we leave, could I just, if you can see it, we are on this platform, which has, it looks artistically very interesting, this sort of angled support. Could I point out that this is a result of 2 explosions on this tower, which got rid of got rid of one tower that was a transporter and locked the other tower into that position. It is not creativity. It was actually a result of destruction. Okay.
All right,
Thanks a lot, Carol.
Dennis.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.